recording.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm Hannah Davis, the owner of Body by Hannah Studio in Tennessee, and personal trainer, certified strength and conditioning specialist. I'm on the advisory board for Cosmopolitan Magazine. I've been featured in many other national publications, and I'm here with Jessica Rumbaugh today talking about body type. Jessica, introduce yourself.
Yes, I am Jessica Rumbaugh Guthrow, otherwise known as, Live Lean TV, and I do Live Lean TV for Women, which is a segment on YouTube. It's all free videos. We offer free nutrition and fitness advice. I pair with my husband, who's Brad Guthrow, and we just help the world live lean. We're trying to make the world a leaner place, so doing all sorts of social media, all sorts of free content for you guys.
Okay. It looks like, okay.
I can't see Hannah still, but okay.
You can't? Can you hear me?
Oh, now I see you.
Okay. I see and I hear everything. So hopefully this works out. Okay. Did you guys get the introduction? You know what we're talking about today? We're talking about
questions about what we do, or we're both certified trainers as well.
Right.
And we've both been in the fitness industry. How long have you been in?
For almost 10 years. It's been maybe 9.5. I'm getting there.
Yeah, same for me, about 9.5, almost 10. Yeah, I think we're about we're twinsies.
Yes. So between us, we have almost 20 years of experience. Hopefully, I'm going to just tell. Well, hopefully, Ernesto can start hearing us, but he'll sign out anyway. We'll let him worry about that. Okay, so we're talking about what is body type. So let's talk about what it is first, and then how to address the training and nutritional needs of different body types. Because who knew that it could be so important? So when we're talking about body types, we have 3 main body types. That's ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph. And it's important to realize that a lot of times people are not just one of those, but they're kind of a hybrid of those. So that's the first most important thing to realize. And that's why it's always not a clean cut answer of how to address nutritional and training needs, because a lot of times you have a bit of a hybrid body type. Which is okay. That's what makes us unique. But once we understand those 3 types and kind of start applying it to our own selves, it can at least guide us into trying different things that may be more beneficial for a certain body type. So guys, I want to know what body type you think that you are. So type it down there. I want to see what kind of body types we have here, because we'll start taking personal questions later on. Feel free to jump in and join the Blab if you have any particular questions about body type. But let's first talk about ectomorph. Jess, you want to tell us what an ectomorph body type is?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's interesting. I actually did a video about this recently. I don't know if you saw that one.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was called "What is my body type?" Because I get this question a lot, and I wanted to explain what it means to have a certain body type, and how you should actually train or eat differently based on the results. So I included a link in there that's like a quiz that you can take to figure out what type you are, and it asks questions like, when you eat, do you tend to burn through food quickly, or do you tend to store everything that you eat? Some people say they just look at food and gain weight, versus others can eat and eat and eat and never gain weight. So questions like that. And then also, are you more of a lethargic personality type, or more of an energetic, bubbly one? So there's certain questions you can take on these quizzes to figure out what you are. And then at the end, it gives you a pie chart, like a graph, telling you how much percentage of each you have. Because like you said, it's you're not one or the other. You're usually
you might be a hybrid. Can you type that link? Where can they find that? That's an awesome.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Oh, I wish I find the link on the computer. How do I get it on the phone? I could type it, but it's a long one.
It's a long one.
But
okay, so maybe you can post that on Twitter later.
Yes,
because most people on Blab are on Twitter.
Yeah, definitely. And it's on Liveling TV. If they want to go and search on livelingtv.com, look for the video called What's My Body Type. And it's so then anyway, so you're talking about ectomorph, which is
what's an ectomorph?
Yeah, because that's actually what I come up as when I take the test. I was about 63% ectomorph, which is not surprising at all to me, because I know that after, just experience and observation, that I do have a rather fast metabolism. And when I don't eat enough food, I do tend to lose weight easier. So it just, you kind of know by observation, but it's always a good thing to take the test just to confirm your assumption.
Right.
So 63% ecto. I think I was like, what was the rest? It was like 30% meso, and then just like a tiny bit of endomorph.
Right. So an ectomorph is generally pretty easy to spot. They're oftentimes, let's say they don't really train and they don't really, they just kind of eat without thinking much of it. They're going to tend to be your lanky, kind of naturally thin individuals. Models are ectomorphs. Hard gainers, guys that are hard gainers are ectomorph. They're usually tall. They're usually also more jittery type personality as well. Yeah. They naturally do move around more. Yeah. So that is your typical ectomorph. Yes. Moving on to mesomorph. Mesomorph tends to build muscle pretty easily. They tend to be more athletically built. If you're looking at athletes that are mesomorph, they're typically your gymnast. What's another athlete that's kind of mesomorph? Bodybuilders are mesomorph, clearly.
Yeah. I think sprinters and swimmers.
Yeah. So they tend to just have a pretty easy time just building muscle and being fit, and we all love to hate them. So what's an endomorph, Jess?
Endomorph is like the opposite of an ectomorph. They're usually shorter stature, usually stocky. We would describe them as like big boned or hefty, or what's that? Hunky. No, hunky is attractive.
Hunky. Yeah.
So, but the type of person that really struggles to lose weight, and like I said, they'll say they can gain weight just by looking at food. Like they barely even overeat, and food just tends to stick to them like glue. So rectangular. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. So it's just a really slow metabolism, more of a lethargic personality. Like they'd rather lay on the couch than be out running around.
Right. They're not a fidgety person. They just are
little
sloth.
Yeah, like a sloth.
Like a sloth. Not that that's a bad thing. That's just
because they're all three have like their unique benefits, pros and cons. One is
Absolutely.
good and one is really bad. And what your ideal would be to be a little bit of each. Like 33% each would be like really nice, because then you'd get the best of all three worlds.
Right. And in reality, most of us are a hybrid of two of them.
Two, yeah.
So at least two. So let's move on and talk about, if you are an ectomorph, then what's the best way to eat and train? Let's assume, everybody's goal here in this situation is to be in the best shape of their life. If you're an ectomorph, you can continue to live a model, lanky, tall, wayfish life if you want. That's fine. You're not going to have to work hard at it. But let's say you're an ectomorph and you want to put on some muscle. You want to be stronger. You want a more athletic look. Then how would you eat and how would you train to achieve that? And so with an ectomorph, they are not very carb sensitive. In fact, they generally need more carbohydrates to fuel them throughout the day. They're going to need more carbohydrates to shuttle the protein to the muscle to build muscle. So you're actually going to want your carbohydrate ratio to be a little bit higher if you're an ectomorph. That said, it's also important to realize that vegetables are a carbohydrate, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to put that in there. But yeah. So So it's good if you're an ectomorph to just make sure that you're really fueling your body with enough carbohydrates so that you don't end up feeling, if you are an ectomorph and you don't give yourself enough carbohydrates, you're going to end up feeling very tired later in the day. Like you're just going to hit walls. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about, where are we? Mesomorph.
Or well, what about training wise, like how an ecto should train?
Oh, training.
Yeah.
Okay. So an ectomorph is going to have a harder time sometimes building muscle than a mesomorph.
Right.
And that's also where the carbohydrates, the fueling your body with carbohydrates is going to come into play to really help you get the most out of your strength training workouts. And when you're an ectomorph, there's not much cardio you need to be doing because you're not trying to burn a lot of or I guess I shouldn't say cardio. I should say high intensity workouts, right? Like they're kind of not necessary in my opinion. If I haven't.
Yeah, I would have them avoid low intensity endurance training.
Yeah, right. Like long runs.
Yeah. But I would say
that actually end up catabolizing muscle. Right. That's partly why.
Yeah.
So solid strength training, working with either low reps in the strength phase, so 5 to 8 reps, or building strength with the 8 to 10 rep phase to really build muscle, and doing it 3 to 5 times a week.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Like an ecto should not really be training more than 5 times a week. That's going to be really dangerous for an ectomorph. They're not going to make a lot of progress in terms of building muscle. They're going to stay thin and stay, lengthened,
right,
long looking, but they're not going to do much for themselves in terms of adding mass, like working out more than 5 days a week. So, which is going to be really tricky because ectos want to work out. They're usually the most energetic of the bunch. So they're going to be like, when's my next workout? And you're like, hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They also want, and that is so true. My clients that are more ectomorphs, they're like ready to jump in the next set or the next exercise. And I'm like, nah, chill out. Like just take your rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Like enjoy it. Hi, Mark. Mark is back again. What is the opposite of ecto? We talked a little bit earlier that the opposite of ecto is endomorph, and we're going to get to that. We're right now going to move on to mesomorph, which we described as being kind of naturally athletically built. They're kind of like your gymnasts, your boxers, people that have a little bit easier time building muscle. So I'm going to let Jess talk a little bit about a mesomorph and how a mesomorph metabolizes food. So what they should kind of eat and how they should work out to kind of maximize their body type and to getting results.
Yeah, I would love if you guys would comment down below now that you've heard what H3 is, like what you think you align with most, which one of these sounds like you. Talking about mesomorphs, these are really, people call it the lucky ones because they have an easy time putting on muscle and easy time burning fat. I mean, relatively, like I'm not going to say that it's super easy, but I'm just saying it's more natural for them to have like an athletic body. And, they're that mix between high energy and low energy. So they're kind of right in the middle, like just neutral energy, normal amount of energy, not like super tired and not super buzzing, right in the middle. And then also food wise, I would say a mesomorph is probably going to be best off with real balanced macros. So pretty much 33% of each, 33% protein, 33% carb, 33% fat. Of course, nobody is 100% meso. So depending on your tendency, if you're like meso with a little endo, meso with a little ecto, then you're going to have to adjust for your
balance it out. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So bronze body, Mark just says, I need to hear this. I want to put on 5 to 7 pounds more muscle. Feel free to hop in, bronze body. Right after we talk about endomorph, we'll get a little, and that was kind of, we'll address that question if you want to hop in. We'll go ahead and move on to endomorph, the endomorph body that seems to want to store everything. Their personality type tends to be a little bit more laid back, slower. a little less naturally active.
Yeah.
These are the ones that are carb sensitive. So your carb ratio is going to have to be much lower. Your protein intake is going to have to be a lot higher, and a moderate amount of fats.
Right.
Is going to be best for an endomorph.
I think these days
the training
people are doing really well on high fats too. So you can experiment with which one of those things takes the place of carbs. But if you're an endomorph, definitely bring your carbs down. And so you either have to replace that portion with some more protein or more fat. So just kind of experimenting what works for you. I know people who can eat 2 avocados and almonds and all this every day and do really well on it. But for someone like me, that's just not really, that doesn't work for me. But for some people, high fats is really working. So.
Yeah. So their training style, an endomorph's training style tends to be a little more high intensity to get results. You're going to need more endurance cardio. You're going to need lots of weight training. You just need to exercise more, unfortunately, because your natural habits are slower. You're not burning as many calories throughout the day. So your workouts need to be higher intensity, more of it. And you need to adjust the carbohydrate ratios to kind of fit your activity levels.
I would have to do lighter weights and higher repetitions, which is going to be the opposite of what they want to do. Just like how with an ectomorph, you have to convince them to take rests. For an endomorph, you have to convince them not to go too heavy and to go more faster, and, like move the pace a lot longer, or move the pace along a lot faster. Which is it's the worst thing for an endomorph. They will complain and hate it, but it's the best thing to get the results to, become fit.
Yeah. And on that note, because, Jess and I are all about building muscle and about getting stronger. It's really important to realize that the studies show that you can get stronger and you can build muscle with lighter weight, higher reps. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And there's more than one way to build that muscle. So again, that's where body type is really important to take into consideration in your own training.
And that's why you can't just follow magazine workouts or whatever that's for the general public, because, if your body is unique and different in a certain way, then whatever, 3 sets of 15 might not be right for you. You have to figure that out. You're between meso, endo, pretty fit, and have to watch carbs. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's proof of what we're talking about right here. Someone who actually, has learned from experience, right?
Right. That's cool.
Sexy lady.
So it's again really important to realize that we are a mix, and I think first and foremost to figuring out your body type is just first make sure that you're exercising and that you're eating healthy, and let your body do what it's going to do with eating healthy. And then I think if you're healthy and you're eating the right things, working out regularly at a high intensity, and you're still not seeing the results, then you've got to really hone into body type and focus on training for body type. You never ask a lady your age.
How rude.
How old am I? Too old.
About that.
So another point I wanted to bring up about, I feel like there was something else. I'm going to look up. I wrote some notes. They're over here. I left them over here, but there was something I didn't want to miss.
I think if anyone's been frustrated, any of you guys who are listening, the reason you're probably listening on this call is to learn more about what you should and shouldn't be doing to get the right results. So if you've gone through a period of time that's longer than 6 weeks of not getting the results that you want, then chances are something is off.
Right.
So don't waste any more of your time doing the same thing that you've been doing for the last 6 weeks. I would just really encourage you, make a change, just try something different, because honestly, you're not going to know what works for you if you don't try and experiment different methods.
Right. Right. so what I wanted to say was that it is actually possible to change your body type, Sunway. Most people don't realize this, but it takes years of training and years of kind of just discipline and dedication to make that happen. But it is actually possible to turn, more endomorph into mesomorph and mesomorph into ectomorph. So it's important to realize that's another incentive to continue to train and continue to progress.
Yes, absolutely. And just because someone may look like a mesomorph doesn't really mean they are one. They may just
in your
be
work and with your
one.
eating habits, because this is a process. Right. Okay, I'm gonna come in. Let's see if that helps. I moved too far from I think it was when I went to get my notes. Also, the sun is going down, so my lighting's gonna change here.
No, darkness.
So
how do I start working out? What about that question?
How do you start what?
Yeah.
By someone wants to know how to swing it around.
Yeah, you could do that, but that may not be the safest approach.
That might hurt you. How do I start working out? Oh,
best way to start. I'm thinking it really depends on a lot of factors, but I think a great way to start is just by going for neighborhood walks. Just get yourself in the habit of getting your exercise clothes on and going out there, working your lungs, get your body moving. And then once you've done that, maybe you graduate to going to the gym once a week. You can take some classes, hire a trainer.
Yes. We also have, this is like a good plug for me and Jess, admittedly, but Jess and I also have workout programs out there for beginners, and you can find that at my website at bodybyhannah.com. And Jess's, I'm trying to find the lights in this place. Here we go. And Jess's is at jessicarumba.com.
jessicarumba.com, and also liveleantv.com. We have a ton of free workouts that are follow along stuff, and then we also sell workout programs. And just honestly, the internet is like a vast resource of all the workout goods you could ever need. So start searching. I definitely use our programs, and then you can come here every Friday and ask us questions, and they'll help you stay accountable.
Yeah, just start moving.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, personally, I prefer playing a sport or martial arts. Yeah, that's awesome. I much prefer playing a sport and kind of getting active that way.
Depending on what the goal.
Hi, David. How are you?
To build muscle, I don't think martial arts is gonna quite cut it, but it's a start.
But it develops a lot of other amazing qualities and discipline. It's an amazing discipline. So it just depends on your goal.
For sure.
Does anybody want to hop on the Blab and ask any specific questions? We are super open to having guests.
Matcha green tea. I love matcha green tea. Do you like that?
Yeah, I do. I once said. What's up, Mark?
I too like matcha and sencha and all that. Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Good to have you again.
Thank you. I appreciate the descriptions there. I kind of feel like I think I would fall into that meso. It's a very kind of lean runner's body.
Nice.
I'm always trying to double my caloric intake in the day, and that's been the harder part because I know that's what's going to build it is eating more.
Yes, eating more.
Now it's just,
when you get too busy.
It's that and getting my body used to it because I've been with a friend of mine who runs his gym and just jumping in about 6 days a week actually for an hour a day, and he mixes up nice with just a weight and kind of throwing the cardio. I've cut back on my own running so I don't burn seem as much to kind of keep
That's
that.
Good.
Added some protein, added some couple of sometimes BCAAs or some L-arginine, I think it's called. So just some extras, but it's that amount of calorie intake, the food from instead of 3 times a day, it's 6 times a day. And I'm trying to push it up to 3,000 total for the day. Just that simple of 5 to 7 pounds isn't that easy to put on. So.
I know, right?
It's true. How long have you been trying?
Yeah. I was good solid for 3 months. I went on a trip with my brother out of the country, came back, didn't go back for 2 weeks. Wow. What a difference. Boy, you lose 2 weeks and it's like you're starting all over again. So
frustrating it can be, but you never give up. Like, no matter how many times that happens, never give up, because you'll think you went backwards, but then by the time you get to the end of the year, you might still be forward, you know? So there's a little bit of that back and forth, and like the line doesn't go straight, it's a little squiggly, but as long as it's trending.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely trending up. I finally brought back in this week, solid week, and that was that. Get used to your body kind of being a little painful like it wasn't before, and next week should be great, and solid 5-6 days working out. So it's just it's the food intake and getting my stomach and all that used to it again, just of that large amount.
Hardest part of all of it.
Yeah.
So that would be considered, is that what mine is, kind of that mesomorph? Is that what you were saying?
No, ecto. You'd be more ectomorph. You're a hard gainer. Is what I would classify you. If you and especially if you runners are typically more ectomorph. Long distance runners, that is, not sprint.
Yeah, 10Ks, working on a half marathon, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So mesomorphs actually have a very easy time putting on muscle.
Oh, okay.
Ectomorphs struggle putting on muscle. So you're doing the right thing. You've really, the caloric intake, you really have to like double it.
Yep.
Mostly with protein, like lean, healthy foods, right? Because you want to avoid adding fat. You want it, directly going to building muscle. And then what are your weight training sessions look like?
It's still light weights, mostly barbells, occasionally dumbbells, occasionally a barbell. I'm still in that range of individual barbells can be 35 as high as 55. I keep saying barbell, but it's dumbbell. And just mixing up the routines. We use resistance bands too. He throws in kind of some plyometric moves. It's a good mix. I don't even know what it's called really, but
what about the rep range?
10s, 12s, 3 sets.
Okay. So, and Jess can chip in also, but if I were training a hard gainer, I'd address the nutrition. I'd be having them eat a lot more, but then I would also, with working out, my head.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
I would have them do lots of reps. So think about how a bodybuilder trains, and that's, essentially to actually gain mass. It's a ton of reps.
Oh, I always thought it was the other way around, where it was higher weight, lower rep.
I would do higher volume.
No, that's higher volume.
Yeah.
So volume, it would be, more time under tension.
Time under tension, exactly. Yeah.
So if you go into the gym and we're specifically, that's why we talked about split training. Okay. And I would recommend more of a split training approach here, because you want to maximize the time, and you really want, to basically push in every plane of motion that you can push. And, and that is what's going to help build muscle mass.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Jess, you agree?
Yeah.
You agree with the science I'm presenting here? It's
absolutely.
Science. It's not.
No,
definitely. We actually have a mass gainer program. And it's called Live Lean Mass. And it's like pretty much just what you described, except it really simplifies it to just, every workout is just 2 exercises. Well, there's like another set at the end, but like,
and you do them a ton.
2 exercises.
Yeah, just kill yourself with them. Okay.
Yeah. So you have to do 10 sets of 10 reps each. So it's called different volume training. And this is really great for hard gainers to actually put some mass on. So it's like it's a serious beat down. Like imagine doing 10 sets of chest press with like 10 sets of pull-ups. Yeah.
No.
Like, but
no, I don't want to imagine that.
So Mark, Mark, your homework is to do that for the next 6 weeks. And then do your measurements and then do that for the next 6 weeks and come back here and tell us. I mean, we hope to see you weekly, but come back here.
Do you want me to do the 10
tell
tens?
us?
Is that what you're saying?
Well,
no, just lift. I mean, you can do that, but just lift.
It doesn't
more.
have to be all 10 sets, but say you did 5 sets or 6 sets, like just more than your typical 3.
Yeah. Mom Metallica is asking, constantly confuse the muscle. That again is good for just weight loss. It depends on your goal. So, I mean, that sounds like it's what you were doing, Mark. You were constantly doing different types, which isn't a bad way to train, but it depends on your goals. If your goal is to build muscle, you're not going to do it by constantly confusing the muscle.
It's much better to slowly, incrementally increase.
Okay. I'll address that with him because we took up my measurements 3 months ago. Well, even more than that now, back in June.
Oh, perfect.
So I have that all written down from various parts. He did calipers too. We got some fat measurement.
Very
percentage.
Cool.
So I have a pretty good idea on that. And then, I think between now and the beginning of the year, it's kind of later. There's the 6 to 8 weeks coming up that can share back with you some good results.
Yay. That'll be fun.
Like your accountability crew here.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
So we got what is good for the opposite body. Theog, feel free to jump in. Jess, you want to address what is good for the opposite body type?
Yeah. Okay. So
which is endomorph.
Yes, it's endomorph. So just so we're being clear on what the 3 are, it's ectomorph is like the skinny type, mesomorph is the muscular type, and then the endomorph is the heavier type. So you guys want to know what is the best for endo? Is that right? Yeah. You're an ecto. Okay, so best thing for an endo is going to be more.
Hold on, we're getting Theo in here. That's cool. Thanks for joining. Only fair. He's asking the question
first before we move on. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see if he hops in.
Again, I might have to plug myself in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I'm getting the spinny wheel. I don't know if it's going to happen. You might have to go ahead and.
Does that help if I always wonder about that sometimes, if it's better if maybe a third person jumps out, so maybe there's only 3. I don't know if that helps sometimes.
Oh my gosh, am I sideways?
No, I don't think it really helps, actually. I think it maybe has to do with their connection. Okay. So,
it doesn't make a difference.
Welcome, Robert.
Oh, no.
Jessica is going to address what the best. We're losing everybody. All right, Jess, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so we're going to go into what the best kind of training approach for an endomorph. That is somebody that has a hard time losing weight.
Yes. Okay, so hard time losing weight, you're going to be doing more endurance type training, shorter rest periods in between your exercises, higher reps also, but with lower amounts of weight. So lower volume, but just longer lasting. And the idea there is you want to really take almost little to no break in between stuff. So constantly sweating, constantly moving throughout the workout. And then also your frequency should be a lot higher than it would be for an exercise.
Yeah.
So that means daily workouts. Daily.
Okay. No problem, Mark. We're probably, I think unless somebody else has a particular question, I think we've done a really good job. I don't like the blabs to go on for too terribly long because I think we lose a lot of people. So I think we did a great job of explaining what each body type is. Please share the blab. And if you subscribed, which you all did, if you're on here, you're going to receive a copy of the blab, or maybe you won't. Maybe you had to subscribe earlier. I'm trying to figure out.
Watch it on my YouTube channel.
That's true. Jess is posting all of these blabs on her YouTube channel. It's awesome. So check it out. What's your YouTube channel, Jess?
You search for Jessica Rumbaugh on YouTube and you will find my channel.
Cool. Okay. So hopefully this information was super valuable. If you want to find out more about this kind of stuff, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're all over the place, always sharing this info. We're here every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. for Tricks of the Trainer.
Yes.
Our awesome Blab show. All right. Thanks for joining, everybody. Everybody hopped off. They're gone, Jess.
Good.
Just you and me now.
Just you and me.
Okay.
All right. So nice
just
to see
you
you.
And me. You too. I'll see you next.
Okay. Bye.